Today I'm checking out this 20 amp hour battery. It's a lithium phosphate battery. This is by GoldenMate. I was sent this at no cost for this review. So let's take it out of the box and check it out. When you take this battery out of the box, you're going to get this battery. It comes with a manual that basically goes over all the specs of the battery and how it recommends you to hook it up. And this is the battery. It's got nice size lugs and bolts for the size battery it is. It does have a continuous discharge current of 20 amps. This can peak a little bit. I've noticed that from other batteries I've tested, but 20 amps is what they recommend as your continuous discharge rate max. So you want to keep it 20 amps or below. Your charge current, 4 amps, 10 amps max. And your charge voltage, 14.4 volts. All of this stuff is pretty standard for lithium batteries and especially for a 20 amp hour battery. Let's go ahead and see how well this thing holds a charge and how long it lasts. All right, I've got the battery fully charged and this is what I have here. So this is a battery monitor that I have set up running through this shunt here, and that shunt monitors the amount of wattage that goes in between the battery and its load. As you can see here, I've got the battery monitor fully reset. I've got a 400 watt power inverter. This battery again says its discharge rate is 20 amps for its continuous discharge rate. So basically 20 amps or 20 times 12, you're going to get around 250-ish watts is what your constant pull from one battery would be. Of course, that can burst a little bit. I've tested another GoldenMate model and they actually, bursted very well and even maintained it. I'm not going to try to wear this battery out in that aspect. What I'm doing here is I'm trying to find out exactly how many amp hours I can get out of this battery. So this is eventually going to be put on a little pump setup that we have that's solar. This is going to help us maintain that pump. So I want to make sure that I've got a good 20 amp hours out of this battery. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on this power inverter. It's going to jump the wattage up some. As you can see here, we got 12.6 watts right now coming out of it. And that's, the fans and everything you get from a typical power inverter. Fan will shut off after a little bit when there's no, real load, and it drops down to about 10 watts. So without any load on this power inverter, it's using about 10 watts of power. So for the load, I've got this 1500 watt heat gun here. Now, I'm not going to kick it up to that because it can't handle it, neither can the inverter. But when you're just running it on a normal setting of 1, it just kicks on the fan that's inside, which pulls about 50 to 60 watts. So I'm basically going to just let this run, on just the fan mode, and I'm going to see how many watt hours I can get out of this battery pulling this, 60, 70 watt load. This is about what my pump will pull. So it's a good comparison on what I'm going to get out of this battery under that specific type of situation. I'm going to go ahead and let this run, and we're going to see how many amp hours we get out of it. This will take some time, so I'm going to go ahead, cut the video, and come back when we're close to emptying out this battery. This is just a little update. We are still going strong. It is at 7.35 amp hours used. So we still got some time here to run this, and I'll update in a little bit. All right, so the power inverter started making some noise. When I came in here, it was at 10 volts even. So this power inverter seems to start beeping when the voltage going in is at 10 volts. So of course, it's coming back up a little bit now because there was, a load on this battery, which was making it dip down in voltage. And now it's coming back to rest at about 10.7. So you could say it's got more power in it, but it's already at 20.6 amp hours. So it's already exceeded the amount of amp hours that it's rated for. And it ran this for 4.5 hours. So it did a pretty good job. Definitely is rated for what it says it needs to be rated for. And this probably could be turned back on and get more power out of it. But I'm going to go ahead and charge this up and get it ready for the use I need. So this is a good battery that definitely lives up to its specs. And I'm going to be using it with my pump with our solar. Should be working great. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you very much for watching. Y'all take care.